this is about Yvonne Nelson. And I'm sort of generalizing it because it happens. That's why I said earlier on that this happens and it is becoming a norm in our society, which we shouldn't entertain.
Another week is here and another time for us to meet on Showbiz University campus and another time to have lecture time, another time to discuss great topics and interesting topics in the world of entertainment. Welcome to Showbiz University. This is episode 8. Good vibes and positive energy going out to everyone listening to me right now. My name is King Kweku Mensah. We're here today. I feel like Ghana, the only time you will be sad or heartbroken in Ghana is when you're out of data, because every time there is something to talk about, every time there is something to yarn about, and if you're out of data, you miss out on all these great things. Last week, we had Yvonne Nelson topping charts and topping trends because she released a memoir, mentioned Sarkodie's name, alleged that Sarkodie impregnated her and refused to take responsibility, ordered her to abort the baby, left her to her fate, blah, 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 blah. And we didn't hear Sarkodie say a word because he was on tour. Then, all of a sudden, on the eve of Eid Adha, when Muslims were about to share meat for us to chew, then Sarkodie drops a song addressing everything Yvonne Nelson said. Guys, if you've not listened to the song, man, you should. We won't waste time, guys. We won't waste time. Let's zoom straight into lecture time today. So on lecture time today, guys, we had a Twitter space where over 20,000 Ghanaians joined for us to discuss Sarkodie's response to Yvonne Nelson. This is the chapter 2. Yvonne Nelson versus Sarkodie, chapter 2. The Landlord Strikes Back. Sounds like a good title for a movie, eh? Chapter 2. So anyway, we had a Twitter space where 20,000 Ghanaians and counting. Yesterday I checked and it was 21,000. So it means 1,000 more people tuned in to listen later on after the space. So 20,000 Ghanaians tuned in to have a say at Sarkodie's response to Yvonne Nelson on a song he released at dawn on Wednesday titled Try Me. So in the song, Sarkodie addressed the whole impregnation rumor, the abortion rumor, said his piece and whatever that he had to say. So go listen to the song. But guys, we have excerpts of the 2-hour Twitter space infused in lecture time today. So let's go take a listen to what Ghanaians had to say on Sarkodie's response.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Betty Kankambwedu. I'll be a co-host for this discussion this morning together with King. If King is there, I'm sure he can introduce himself.
King is here, Betty. Good morning, guys. It's a holiday, early morning like this, and violence all over Twitter. So it's right that we had to do this space. I mean, TV3 started this conversation, or we began a conversation about some few weeks ago. Monday, when Yvonne Nelson dropped her book or released her book. And now Sarkodie has replied, so it is right. Like, we have to have both sides of the story head and know what Ghanaians are talking about when it comes to it. So, guys, raise your hand. Use the emoji. Raise your hand if you woke up at dawn and saw Sarkodie's link to the song, and that was the first thing you touched instead of praying. Raise your hand. Use the emoji. Fast. And
also share the link. Share the link, like George would say. Share the link, like it's Alpha R.
Share the link. Ekuasika said that's what she did. Young Khalid also, that's what he did. Interesting. So instead of praying, the first thing you guys clicked on was Sarkodie's link to listen to Try Me. Ohene, don't laugh. Ohene Kelly, don't laugh. I know you did that as well. Almost everyone on this space, that was what piqued your interest. Trust you me. That was the first thing you touched when you held your phone. So guys, welcome to our space. We're trying to know, when you heard the song, what you thought of Sarkodie's lyrics in the song, the approach Sarkodie used when he was replying Yvonne Nelson, and everything in between. Sarkodie released some punchlines. Aside the wordplay and all that, he spoke his truth. He spoke his truth in the lyrics of the song. But what do you think of it? So let me start with Betty. Betty, have you heard the song in the first place?
Oh yes, I've heard the song in the first place. I have, and it's interesting because I thought he really went in very hard, and raw. But then again, when you look at the song on YouTube, it says "Try Me" raw. So obviously, when you find the language very strong, when you find the language very harsh, he's kind of warned you in advance that it's raw. I'm not. For me, I'm not surprised, about how he responded. And we all know that Sarkodie is a rapper. He's a hip hop rapper, and if you understand the hip hop game, they don't take it lightly. This feels like it's like a battle. Somebody has accused him, or somebody has mentioned his name in a controversy. Let me put it like that. And he's come to kind of respond. And for me, I'm not surprised about how hard he went. But of course, when you look all over Twitter, people are now analyzing the lyrics, and people are saying the timelines don't match. And, Sarkodie says WhatsApp, and that time, 2010, WhatsApp was not there. People have all these things to say. And of course, Yvonne Nelson is on some tweet thing. She's just tweeting. It's like she's sitting in her room or wherever, or on her island, and she's just responding to the song verse by verse, which is also interesting. But I have some thoughts. About other things. But I would want to probably say that after people have had their say. If Mishana say be and comfort them in baby, I say but for now, I think Sarkodie had the right to respond. I mean, whether you agree with what he said or not, he had the right to respond, just as Yvonne Nelson had the right to write her book. And you know what they say, Yvonne version. Me, I don't like to say your truth, his truth. I don't like those things. There's only one truth. We don't know yet. So we have Sarkodie's version. We have Yvonne Nelson's version of things. We don't know the truth. So let's not say his truth, my truth. I don't like those things, but that's just me,
Guys, the link to the song is on YouTube, Sarkodie's main page on YouTube, and on all DSPs, digital streaming platforms. So I'm sure you've heard the song, but we want to know what you think of the lyrics in the song, and we want to know what you make of Sarkodie's approach in replying Yvonne Nelson. So we start with Kojo Praman. Kojo Praman, your mic is active. If you can hear us, Kojo, you can speak. After that, young Clyde would also share his opinion, and we'll be taking opinions, guys. This space is for you. So whatever you have to say, make sure you say it, but say it right. No insults are here. Don't step on anybody's toes. We know you're speaking you're saying your truth. Oh, Betty says I shouldn't say that. We know you're saying your opinion, but make sure you say it right. So Kojo, you can start the conversation with that. Kojo Praman. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
Fire.
Good morning to you all. I think this is the time we need to respect every woman in this country. But then, I don't see it wrong for Sarkodie replying this way, because we don't know both of the story that we are talking of. We don't know of Yvonne Nelson's side, and we don't know of Sarkodie's side. So judging the two of them will be quite difficult for us. But then, I think looking at what Yvonne Nelson wrote in the book and Sarkodie replying, I think Sarkodie is right. Because looking at the situation here, Sarkodie cannot ask you to go and do abortion. You get me? Sarkodie cannot ask you to go and do abortion. Meanwhile,
well, he said in the song that Yvonne approached him.
Yes, he did it.
You can't say he cannot ask. I mean, Sarkodie is human.
Sarkodie did not ask her to go and do abortion. Sarkodie did not ask her. Looking at what she wrote in the book and Sarkodie song for the reply, I think Sarkodie did not ask the girl, Yvonne for abortion. Yvonne suggested it, and Sarkodie told her he has his personal doctor, of which Yvonne did not buy to his opinion, and she went on doing her own thing. So you saying Sarkodie ignored you?
Kojo, let me correct you. Yvonne Nelson did not suggest it. Yvonne Nelson obviously went to Sarkodie. They met. She told Sarkodie about the news, and she said that from Sarkodie's reaction, it was clear that he wasn't ready to father a child. She did not say that Sarkodie suggested, but he said that from Sarkodie's reaction, it was clear. The conclusion was that he was not ready. He didn't say that Sarkodie asked me to abort it. So let's be clear on that. Please go ahead. I just wanted to correct that.
Betty, per hot Sarkodie reply in the rap, I think it was after the meeting was after the abortion. That's what he said, that after the abortion, and Yvonne wanted him to come to her house, and Sarkodie was like, "No, you think I'm a fool to come to your house again? Or what can it do?"
Again, Kojo, let me correct you, and I want to correct because we need to set the record straight. Don't take offense. I just want to set a few things straight. My understanding of that part was that he said that a few weeks ago, you asked that we should talk. I think I may be wrong, but I think that he was referencing maybe Yvonne wanted a meeting before maybe the book came out. And remember, he said that they wanted to meet at Sky Bar, and Yvonne said it's too nipa or hododo. And then Sarkodie said, then Yvonne suggested saying beba or brami ofie. And Sarkodie was saying that knowing who you are, no, member Emma may accuse me. Say because your barber can be a bejiedi. So let's get that conversation. Sounds like it happened a couple of weeks ago, not in 2010. In 2010, the way Yvonne, the chronology of the event, and say, or first Sarkodie, or finding out so she's first Sarkodie, and as Omushiaye, and on in the Kasai. So let's get the Obia the Sarkodie kind. Let's get it right. The Yvonne so kind. Let's get it right. Let's not misrepresent anybody. Please go ahead.
Sure. I get you, Betty, now. Okay, looking at things for Yvonne going forward, tweeting to just read some case on TT, I think this is wrong. You are dealing with the father. This case shouldn't be a generational case that will affect TT or someone else.
Would you describe what Yvonne tweeted as a curse?
Please come again.
Would you describe what Yvonne tweeted as a curse?
Yes, of course. Because you are dealing with Sarkodie, it has nothing to do with his daughter or something like that. You get it? This is very bad. We need to condemn this also.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kojo. Betty, I'd hand over to you so you continue the moderation from here. I am finding excerpts of the book where Yvonne made mention of the pregnancy, the abortion, and Sarkodie's tweet. So I read that part. But Betty, Giovanni wants to speak, so allow Giovanni to speak. Okay. In the meantime, Giovanni is on.
Yeah, Giovanni.
Hello, guys. How everyone? Hi. Wow, busy morning it's been, I guess. So a real quick one. I just listened to the response from Sark over and over again. I mean, I don't know. Clearly, all is not well at both sides. I know Yvonne tweeted a few times that she...
Is it me or Giovanni? I think
It
your
seems
connection.
Giovanni is driving or something.
No, sorry. Sorry, I had a call come through. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm saying that even though Yvonne is not clearly stated that she's going through therapy or anything like that, or publicly stated that, I still think that the healing process is still going on. She stated, she tweeted that she was painting. Painting helps. And for anyone who understands how some of these things work, they know that clearly she's going through a lot. Sarkodie's statement also gives the impression, at least to those who asked whether there was a previous conversation before this book was released, that she's been trying to have a meeting. I stand to be corrected. And if Sarkodie mentioned a few weeks ago, she's been trying to get him to meet up. A few weeks ago, to me or to anybody who is in a hurry to conclude, who will say that, well, then the book had gone to the press, it's been done. I don't know what that meeting was supposed to reflect, because I'm not sure it would take that to, because then the book was already in circulation for a few. I mean, forward has been written by Manassi and Co. Again, there's another point that we're probably missing. That's when she mentioned the children for me. I mean, you said, I have a daughter, you also have a daughter, let's see how this plays out. And there's a lot still that's not been told in the volume 1. And I know we have been promised the volume 2, but Charlie, there is more. There is more to this than we're hearing to see. One has a book to sell, the other has a thought to sell. Interesting days ahead, that's what I can say.
All right. Okay, Giovanni, thank you for that. And I think I agree with you, because clearly you can tell that Yvonne is going through some things. You know, she's probably listening to the lyrics of the song and trying to respond. I mean, we can argue that maybe that is not the best thing to do when you are probably all in your emotions or whatever it is. But hey, we can't control how she wants to let her feelings out. So yeah, I agree with you. And
so let me ask Betty. I think someone also asked me this question. I've been struggling to answer. Do we think, I mean, typical Sarkodie nature, he hardly reacts to some of these things. To get him to react, you're either a rapper coming at him and his family, or you say something that he feels like he has to clear his name. You know, but with this one, the story was almost dying, no? The story was almost dying. I mean, yes, people are buying the book, they're reading. The timing, and the question has to do with timing. Do you think this is the right time to drop a response to this? After being quiet for a while. And even in his outro, he said he's got a copy of the book and he's here to read. I don't know where this song was recorded, whether he's done reading the book by this time. And I don't know. Is Sarkodie reacting to social commentary rather than reading for himself what the book has said about him?
I'll let others come in, but I think so. I think Sarkodie is trying to, I don't know, like react to whatever reputational damage this might have caused, because the truth of the matter is, when you read Yvonne's book and the part that she talks about Sarkodie, it didn't come out like she wanted to paint him in a bad picture, you know. And even when I read from reading Sarkodie's response and Sarkodie leaving her at the hospital, not coming back, you know, I was like, I went back and I said, okay, Yvonne, you know, he was 22. I'm not holding brief for 22-year-olds, but you know, they are still young and naive, and he was probably also scared, also afraid. You know, he had a career, a burdened career then. So the language Yvonne Nelson used, it wasn't bad language. I mean, he wasn't trying to throw Sarkodie under the bus in any way, shape, or form. And I agree with you when you say that he's probably reacting to the, you know, social media or people's reaction to the song. And if someone can book in, you know, I don't know, because me once would it to you say what kind of book no, I think about kind book no. If I know what kind book ni and sana or no. So me in that regard, maybe he probably, you know, he's probably reacting to social media way. But let's bring in
Betty.
Yeah.
Before you add, Giovanni, if you know, I know you know Sarkodie very well. The Sarkodie we know would not react immediately to something. Take Aisha Modi's comment, for instance. He had to wait for a while and put it in a song. So, and if you guys will bear witness that when Yvonne Nelson released the book, Sarkodie was on tour. So I would say he was kind of concentrating on his performances outside the country, and now he's done. His last performance was over the weekend. So he's done, and now, he can come at anyone that is throwing, I'd say, attacking him or saying anything about him. And the buzz around this was so severe. You had pundits on other platforms calling for Sarkodie's name to be taken out of other endorsement deals. And I think Sarkodie is part of an advocacy group that is championing girls something. So this is sort of a bad reputation to him. So it's best he addresses it, and he did that. Everything he said in the song, although he said he hasn't read the book, was kind of, it answered all the questions, or it ticked everything that Yvonne Nelson was saying. Although Sarkodie said he hasn't read the book and he's yet to read it. So it means he knows the story. You get it?
Yeah. So I'll let others respond to the timing. Giovanni asked the timing. And Giovanni, I think that the timing, whether he dropped the song like before or even a year later, it will still be a bomb. A blast still. I guess maybe he's also like, well, let me just respond and probably get it over with. When it's all dying out, then it dies out. That's just what I think. But Anita, you have the microphone.
Yeah. Good morning. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Yes. So, first of all, what I want to say is, you see, when you roll with the pigs, some things are inevitable. That is how the world is, Now, on the song, okay, let me start from the book first. First of all, the other day, I think I mentioned that I don't think she mentioned Sarkodie to put him in a bad light because of the abortion. I doubt that very much. I may be wrong, but just like I mentioned before, it was the pain of him leaving her there and, not checking up, the aftercare that was not given. That is what I think the pain she was trying to, put out. So, well, for Sarkodie, if he hadn't come, to reply, you would have all known that maybe something was wrong, or maybe some people were holding him down. But replying is in line because he also is a singer and he probably feels his reputation has been damaged and he wants to maybe set the record straight. But then there are better ways to do things than going lower. Even if the bar is set low, you don't go lower, He being married and having a girl child as well, the other person also has a girl child as well. I think they should both be cautious. And Sarkodie, I know the wife also champions some advocacy stuff on women and children. I think he should have probably sought some, advice or maybe from people before doing this. Also, he rapping this is not a problem. But where the problem lies is in your explanation or in your rap, trying to slut shame women, saying she belongs to the street and a whore and stuff like that. It has become a norm in our society that when a woman gets up there, we always don't believe she did it. We always believe she did it maybe through the vagina or through a man, and that is how they get there. It's very common, and people find it hard to believe, except when it is their sisters. When it is their sisters, oh, then she's hardworking. But if it's someone else's sister or mother or child or daughter, oh, for ordinary, that kind of stuff. We all know that Sarkodie is not a saint. Just like I am not a saint, just like you are not a saint. Yes, we all know that. We all know his escapades around town. So he coming to say that someone belongs to the street is totally uncalled for. That is it. Yes, you may say that she mentioned his name and she should have used the discretion and all that. Well, you can also say your truth, or just like the lady was saying, she doesn't like the expression, say it is your own truth or whatever. But I mean, if the person says this is it, and you also come to say this is it, then we have two versions, and we, the public, would just maybe be debating and trying to get to the truth, which we may probably not even get to. But slut-shaming women in this age and era in Ghana, I think, is very wrong, and it is something that we have to really put a stop to as a people, because it is becoming a norm which is not supposed to be. If you knew she belonged to the street, why did you have raw sex with her without a condom? I always say that as men, please take responsibility for your actions. Because when you knew she was for the street and you wanted to just chop as well, as you people say, then you should have used protection. You also, on the other hand, was in a committed relationship. You get it? So you being in a committed relationship means you should even have been extra careful as the guy. Well, maybe it could be youthful exuberance and all that, but it doesn't speak well of him too, because ordinarily people say, oh, you were in a committed relationship, even though you were not married, but it's tantamount to cheating as well, in quotes. Yvonne says she was in school. She wasn't in school then. But I think I was trying to open the place where she says, I mean, Sarkodie says she was in school. She says she wasn't in school. But this morning, she tweeted something on that school line. And I think probably there may be some inconsistencies. And if there are inconsistencies, it will make people doubt the truth in what she's written. Because we listen, we read, and, we draw conclusions. So whatever Yvonne is doing, whoever is with her and she's tweeting and all that, I probably think her phone needs to be taken from her, because she's not healed yet. The trauma is still there. The identity, she's still trying to find her identity. She really needs to go into therapy. And I don't think she's got it. Or, I mean, maybe she's in the process. I'm not sure. But I think she should be in therapy. And for now, probably the phone taken from her. But what I would just say is, slut-shaming women, please. You can say your points. You can deliver what you want to deliver. But if you did the same thing as a man, you have numerous girlfriends and all that. And these days we are all shout, it is my body, I can do what I want and all that. Then you have no right to slut shame anyone, because you are not better than I am. Neither am I, probably not better than you are. We don't know what you do in the dark. So let us stop slut shaming women. You can say whatever you want to say, but let us stop slut shaming women in this area, because the children behind us are watching. This book, fine, it will be on the shelf. Children will come and read. Sarkodie could also, he's not a writer. I like what he did. He's trying to rap, use his own, skill to do that. But he could also maybe, reply in the form of maybe a short book, or maybe wrap it well and, let what you want to tell the people be out there, but not slut shaming someone, because it means you yourself, you are, a whore as well. Because if I'm a whore, I'm in the brothel, and you come to me, that means you are not better than I am. I think I will end that for now.
I like how you respectfully put it.
Okay, so Anita,
yes,
I have a few questions, but the slut shaming part, this is, me trying to learn here. Okay. Why is it that Sarkodie is addressing a woman, in this case, Yvonne Nelson? So everything he's saying is going to Yvonne Nelson directly. Why do we have to extend that and include other women and say that he's slut shaming women because he says Yvonne Nelson is for the street? It may not be a fair statement to say that about Yvonne Nelson, but he was addressing one person. Why do we have to make it about every other woman? Because Sarkodie mentioned, so if you can briefly touch on that, and then after that, Caleb, you can have the microphone after that.
Okay, so this is about Yvonne Nelson, and I'm sort of generalizing it because it happens. That's why I said earlier on that this happens, and it is becoming a norm in our society, which we shouldn't entertain because it is not good, except when maybe the person is very close to you, and then, you try to be cautious. Yes, it is Yvonne Nelson, and it is him, Sarkodie. But my point is, if he says Yvonne was for the street or is for the streets, he himself, where was he? So he's not better than Yvonne Nelson. He's not better than Yvonne Nelson as well. So if you say this one is for the street or is a slut, then you yourself, that means you are the same thing, because you also went into her without even protection when you were in a committed relationship. And I think that this is where sometimes too we have problems in our relationships. People want to be in relationships and enjoy the benefits of not being in relationships. They are not committed. And, they think that is not cheating. But it is. It is. Because you're doing something that you don't want the other partner to know. And that is where most of our relationship problems stem from. Integrity, no. Honesty, zero. Commitment, zero. You want to eat your cake and have it. It is not possible. It is not possible. The basic, the family unit is what is going to build a nation. Yeah. The family unit is what is going to build a nation. So what the beliefs you have in your family that you have, the tenets you're teaching your children and all that is very, very important. It's very, very important. So if it's Yvonne, fine, it is Yvonne, then that means he himself too is for the streets. Or is it that when men are for the streets, it doesn't matter? Is it only when women are for the streets that it matters?
It matters.
No.
It matters. I think Sarkodie actually admitted in the song that he's on the street. I think he said something like you can't, I'm also on the street, so I know what's up. So you can't but so thank you very much, Anita.
You both are the same.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much. Caleb, you can have the microphone. And if we can be brief so we can have as many people have their say as well, because this is a have your say session. So we want as many people as we can possibly have to speak. So Caleb, be brief in addressing your concerns, and then we can move on to others. So please, you can request the mic if you want to say something.
Hi, BKB. Am I right? Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
So I'll just want to side with Giovanni on the timing bit, because I still feel this would have been a proper way to promote Rapaholic this year. Not to say Sarkodie doesn't have ways or means to promote Rapaholic, but I still believe he could have held on to this for some time and do it somewhere in December. And then prizes for the show tickets will surely go up, and Ghanaians will surely go get it. The song there, as a rap fan, yeah, it's good. I'm still digesting the content actually, but I think the timing will still be what I would want to touch on now. I feel the timing is right, and especially when there was a by-election yesterday, the NDC was actually coming into the news today to like this weekend. It was their time to shine. And the Black Meteors disappointed us heavily yesterday. I'm sure this morning on the sports-related shows, this was going to be the topic on most of their platforms. Unfortunately, Sarkodie has managed to push all these things to the side, and he's going to be the talk of town from now to weekend. Timing is key. If I was part of his team, I would have suggested we hold on to this for now and then do it in December so that there will be a proper talk for Rapaholic concert. Apart from that, I think everything is fine.
Yeah, I mean, you have a point there. He should have probably pulled a Chris Rock move. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, he waited and put his response in the special. So maybe he should have done that. You're probably right, but hey, these things again is reputation issues. But I don't know. But we can't. I can't speak for Sarkodie, but you have a point. Young Ki, you have the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you, TV3, for having this space. I would like to be brief about this, or let me say, I would like to go straight to my point so that others can talk as well. A lot has been said about this whole issue, and technically, I've followed this agenda since the day it came up. I remember when TV3 organized the issue, this same space again, when Yvonne Nelson was premiering her book. I was around and I heard a lot of people have a lot of say about it. But then with regards to that, I would like to add and put a say on this whole timing thing. During the time of the issue, the Tema Oil Refinery, which was also a big deal, came up. But then Yvonne Nelson didn't wait for Ghanaians to digest the Tema Oil Refinery case, and then the book was premiered. And everyone went on to put that aside to talk about Sarkodie. Now, I remember clearly also that when people were also having their say, everyone said Yvonne Nelson no one can determine what time Yvonne Nelson reveals or releases or tries to heal or starts his issue. So I don't know why people now still, I understand the business aspect, which is very true and would have been very great. But Sarkodie responding now to also shows that he has a heart. He's not a piece of wood. And it hurts him too, knowing all that is going on, what people were talking about it, how people were seeing it. It happened with Mason Greenwood. Immediately the issue came. Few seconds later, we had Nike pulling out. We had Manchester United pulling away. We had all kinds of sponsors pulling away from Mason. I can't say what Mason did was wrong or right or whatever. But then I can't also judge Sarkodie as to say that the timing is wrong. Sarkodie also has his right as a man, as someone whose mental health is also, a central issue to also have a say. Mind you, which is also worth noting, is that when the book was premiered, Yvonne Nelson's father, which is technically even the title of the book, was not the central agenda. What was made to premiere or what was used to drive the book was Sarkodie. That there was a man, there is a man who he had an affair with, and he's a big rapper in Ghana. That was what we used to drive the agenda. And I would say that was why most people actually went to read the book. And to be honest with you, the book will be there for a very long time. Kids will come to read about it. If Sarkodie is to keep quiet about this, Ghanaians will draw their line that Sarkodie is irresponsible, and it dents his brand. And so I feel that we should also respect Sarkodie's mental health as to how he went about it.
I have a question.
Sorry, BK, sorry.
Anita, hold on. Let me ask you a question first. There are those, I agree that Sarkodie is a rapper, he's a hip-hop rapper. When they are going, they go hard, they go all in. But there are those who are saying it wasn't like a rapper made these statements. Yvonne Nelson is not a rapper. So maybe because she's not a rapper, because she's a woman, maybe he should have toned down a little bit. How about that? What is your response to that argument as well?
Well, I don't know. I don't think Yvonne Nelson toned down on Sal. I mean, she's toning down this morning. She isn't. She's literally, put out like 3 tweets in succession about how things has been so bad for her and about how Sarkodie drove her, which she puts in capital letters, to make an emphatic statement that Sarkodie is a totally irresponsible person. He didn't care, and he doesn't care about womanhood. She hasn't toned down Sarkodie. So I don't see why Sarkodie, when Sarkodie goes on, he should rather be the one to slow down, and Sarkodie is being this. I don't know why. He's also a man. And when you bite the mamba's tail, you don't determine how the mamba responds. The mamba will bite you. And if he bites back, I think Sarkodie deserves to bite back.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, thank you. Let's move on to BK. Anita, let me get a couple of people in before. So you save your responses and write them down so you don't forget. BK, you are next. But before that, King, can you be on standby with all the tweets from Yvonne Nelson and the MOG response and all the reactions after BK? I'll give you the opportunity to read all of them out for those who haven't had the chance to see those. So, BK, try and be brief, eh?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, BK, good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Well, I think, first of all, Yvonne Nelson's book came as a surprise to everyone because we didn't know Yvonne Nelson as a writer. I don't know whether she has written a couple of books that I myself have not read, or I don't know. I don't know whether she had. BKB has Yvonne Nelson written a couple of books out there already.
This is probably no. I know. I think this is her first book. I think I don't know of any other book.
Okay, so probably her team advised her to address the issue, whatever she was feeling with the book. And doing that, we all know once she does that, the whole Ghana is going to read, and with respect to everybody whose name was written in the book is probably going to reply. So if you stick Sarkodie's name in your book and you mention whatever happened between you and Sarkodie in the book, and then let's say you mention Sarkodie and then you bring abortion, obviously you are trying to say that Sarkodie was not responsible, but Obede or Sarkodie, all his life, all his career is trying to show people that he's responsible, he's the landlord. When it comes to music, he's the guy on top, he's the king. And then you associate Sarkodie with abortion in your book. I'm not saying if you have something on your chest, you don't have to speak it out. You have to, if that is what is going to make you feel good. But the moment you do that, then you should be ready for whatever is coming back to you. And Sarkodie also replying to Yvonne Nelson, saying that Yvonne Nelson is on the street and all that. All these things should have been dealt between, families or you two, because you bringing this thing out now, everybody is going to have a piece of it. Everybody is going to have a piece of it. There are a couple of brands that Sarkodie mentioned in his track, and they are all trending now, so everybody is going to get a piece of it. But respect to all women, I think if you are going to fight Sarkodie on this issue, then you should have, when the book came out, then you should have made it clear that you don't attack people's reputation in that way. You understand? Because even if there's anybody on the platform here that had an affair or was with Yvonne Nelson years back and this happened, and Yvonne Nelson brings a book out for the whole world to know whatever happened, then I'm not sure. Even if I'm not a rapper or I'm a painter, probably I'm going to paint in the whole Accra street that, look, this is my point, you understand? I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to write a book if I'm a painter, because I don't know how to write a book or probably communicate my feelings through words, you understand? So if Sarkodie goes hard, I feel it's exactly the same way Yvonne Nelson went hard on the book. So we don't have to blame any. I think that this shouldn't even have come out in the first place. You understand? So because if you call Yvonne Nelson, I am somebody who likes Yvonne Nelson movies, and I'm somebody who also listens to Sarkodie's music. So if you tell me that if this thing comes out like that, then I, for one, I loses interest in both of them, because at the end of the day, I know we are all not saints, but things like this should not come out. Sarkodie is also trying to protect his reputation. Yvonne Nelson is also trying to get his feelings out in a way of, it's affecting Sarkodie's reputation. And at the end of the day, this is going to go on and go on and go on. And we are going to have a lot of books coming up. They started. You understand? We are going to have a lot of books coming up and this trial and all that. So I think that the most thing that we should be promoting is rather not saying this person did this right and Sarkodie's bars was killer and Sarkodie shouldn't have. We should not do that. We should rather condemn all these things that is going on, because at the end of the day, if we choose sides, then there's going to be more books. If we choose Obede side, then it's going to more distracts on, which is not going to help. Apart from that, I know the industry is, people are going to enjoy it because it's legitimacy. I would like, this is where I want to end so that someone else can also
All right. All right, thank you, BK. King, if you can go through Yvonne Nelson's tweets, because we all know what Yvonne Nelson's our blocking into tweets now. If you can just read those tweets quickly for us, and then after that, we can hand over the microphone to Yawa Safo.
Right, guys, before I go to read the tweets, make sure you follow other social media platforms for Media General. 3 Extra is around. Just type 3 Extra on Twitter. You can follow it. We give you all the content that you need. Very juicy content as well. 3 Extra. We have PMX. Perfect Match Extra is ongoing right now, Charlie. Very hot stuffs going on there. So make sure you follow PMX, who are your favorite couples and all that. Now, let me do the tweets. So 3 hours ago, which is about 6 a.m., Yvonne Nelson made these tweets. Insults won't work. Michael. Respect womanhood. I am happy the world gets to see how you are playing this and the role you. Young women get to learn from this. You would get the applause for a rap. Still doesn't change the truth. Truth in capital letters. And there is this whole conversation on Twitter that if a girl is fighting with you or if a lady is fighting with you and mentions your real name, it means you are in big trouble. So Yvonne calling Sarkodie Michael in her first tweet, it means something. Then she goes on to tweet, in my book, I narrated how you got me pregnant, how you couldn't wait for me to get rid of it, how you drove, in capital letters, me to have an abortion. As usual, you want to use rap to rubbish a pain a young woman felt. We both have daughters. Let's see what life throws at them. And she hashtagged Sarkodie's title to the song, which is Try Me, but she said, tried you. It means I've poked at you. What will you do? What will you do? And 1 hour ago, just a few hours ago, 1 hour ago, she comes back to write, Michael, you claim I was desperate to abort because I needed to complete school. In 2010, when I became pregnant, I had completed the university. Anybody can verify this. I wasn't in school, and you know it. If you want to lie, find a logical lie. Hashtag you're spitting lies. And the last tweet from Yvonne, which has about 2,000 replies right now, reads, and would you readily agree for me to keep a pregnancy when you were in a serious relationship with another lady who would become your wife? So guys, this tweet right now sort of confirms that the lady Yvonne Nelson was mentioning in her book that Sarkodie was in a relationship with could have been Tracy. Because if I'm reading right, she says, and would you have readily agreed for me to keep a pregnancy when you were in a serious relationship with another lady who would become your wife? Or who would become your wife? your street line is played out. So these are tweets from Yvonne Nelson. Now, emoji is claiming that Yvonne Nelson is in his DMs. And he tweets, "Madam, don't come at me in my DMs. I am just a producer and I take pride in my work. You can call me chef because I don't have a problem cooking violence with all the necessary spices." So that is what... So Yvonne is going back door to attack Emoji, according to what Emoji is tweeting, claiming why did he have to produce the song Sarkodie release, which is Try Me. In case you don't know, Emoji worked on the beat, and his signature tune is in the track before Sarkodie even starts singing the hook. So that is what Emoji is tweeting. I'm hearing Shatawale also has an advice for Sarkodie, and it will be coming out very soon. We are waiting for that. But Betty,
okay, so more kase Yvonne Nelson into unim say na Sarkodie wo a serious girlfriend or babe ware no and I also ko share ho na mo bisa Yvonne Nelson so ko here then. I can read your minds. I know what you are thinking.
Yeah, before you let Senna speak, Yvonne just made a tweet 9 minutes ago, quoted a book and an article from a blog. So let me read the tweet. She says, "I was pregnant at the time I launched my glaucoma foundation around October 2010. I graduated from Central University in October 2010. It was my final year, but I had completed my coursework months before the October graduation and my pregnancy. I was only waiting for my certificate." So for those who are saying Yvonne is contradicting herself in her book and also whatever she's tweeting, she came to clarify that, yes, she had completed school, but she was just waiting for certificate. That's why she said she was still in school. And she quoted the chapter 8 of the abortion and used a red pen to underline the parts where she was trying to relay that message. So in the book, it reads, "It was 2010 and I was 25. I was about to graduate with a degree. My acting career had taken off extremely well, but it was hit with a ban in Ghana. I found a welcome distraction in my charity, the Yvonne Nelson Glaucoma Foundation. I recorded a single that featured some of the top stars in the entertainment and sports industry in Ghana. Musicians such as Sarkodie." So even Sarkodie featured in a song in October, just around the same time that Yvonne was pregnant. It says a lot, but Betty, I'll leave it here. So that's what Yvonne is tweeting right now, about 9 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that Yvonne is responding to what Sarkodie said. Say that Yvonne was school. Yvonne didn't want the pregnancy because she was in school, and I think she's trying to say that, well, technically I was in school, but I wasn't in school because somebody may coursework you may read school Anissa. But to Sarkodie, you are still in school. Someone graduated here. I don't know. But Senna, you can come in. But I have a question. So if you can answer this question before you proceed to any other submission you may have. My question is, Sarkodie. So there are people on Twitter debating that Sarkodie is saying that or WhatsApp Yvonne Nelson, but in 2010, no, not WhatsApp MI. But we also know that this is the same way is about 13 years ago. So, I mean, should we dismiss? I mean, and this is for both sides, Yvonne and then Sarkodie. Do we dismiss whatever it is that they are saying because, of some timing inconsistency or some timing, detail being added up and I say, this WhatsApp and WhatsApp not being available at that time? Do we dismiss what they are saying to say that, you are lying because you said it was WhatsApp, or you are lying because you said you were in school but you were about graduating?
Betty, correction here. WhatsApp was launched in November 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But was it in Ghana as of that time?
This was 2010 October, and WhatsApp was launched in November 2009.
Was WhatsApp
But
in Ghana?
the question is, was it in Ghana? Because me, I didn't join WhatsApp, I think, until 2011, to be very
11.
honest. Anyway.
I got WhatsApp as of 2011.
Yeah, that's when it became popular in Ghana. But Sana, you are a tech wizard. I like to call you the tech wizard. So let me know what you think. Were you monitoring WhatsApp then? How old were you then? And just try and answer my question and move on to your submission.
Yes, so I think to kind of answer the question of the WhatsApp side, I would say everybody should maybe listen to the song again, because the submission Sarkodie was mentioning was that later, so he had finished telling his story and he just wanted to throw in yet another thing to buttress his point, that he mentioned that even later she messaged him or something to come to her to the house. I don't know if that's the part you are referencing to. And if that's the part you are referencing, then most likely this is even outside of the 2010 period that we are discussing now, and that could be years later, because according to Sarkodie, when she messaged to invite him to the house to come and discuss the whole thing, he didn't want to go because he doesn't want to be in the same space with her again. And that could be maybe a week before the book came out, 1 year before the book came out, but in the chronology of the song and how he puts it, he made it seem as though it was something that happened way after they had sort of resolved their drama. In terms of the WhatsApp, I think to just respond to you and Caleb, Caleb asked if WhatsApp was in Ghana. WhatsApp was universally available, actually. Some few select people had it, but if you knew how to work around it, because back then you would not get the WhatsApp verification code via text message. They had to call your number. So, some few people had it and some people were using it. So we cannot really use that as the point. And these are two quote unquote celebrities who were, even as at that time, a bit traveled. So the possibility that they could have access to WhatsApp is also something that we cannot dispute, even from that side. I think I just wanted to add something when I read Yvonne's tweets, is both of them, both parties are having their emotional responses to whatever they're feeling. That's very clear, and that's very it's something that is indubious in a sense. What we are having is our reactions to their emotional responses. If one Nelson is feeling a bit hurt, and everything with her father, everything together, she wants to tell a story, she has a right to do so. Sarkodie is feeling, maybe from even the song, you can feel that he feels a bit, there's this word when you, not embarrassed, but when somebody breaks your trust. It feels like, Yvonne Nelson has broken the trust that they had, that this will never come out or something like that. He feels that way. So again, I would also say he's responding from that sort of emotional side also. But the one thing that struck me in all the tirade of tweets that Yvonne Nelson has been sending out is the moment she decidedly brings in the other partner. Once she decides to even make it a clear thing and bring in the other partner, for me, it might take away from everything that she wants to do, which she should just keep it at, I'm just telling my story, frankly, because the moment she starts to grow in, would you have taken this? And then once you had a partner who would go on to be your wife, she's speaking in definite terms at that point, and which are things that I believe were not directly related to her. And who knows? Sarkodie could come out to say what you assumed was a serious relationship then was not serious, and it only got serious 2 years later, right? So I feel like once she throws in that bone, it moves away from telling my story of, oh, I am not Yvonne Nelson, to making it seem like a vindictive attack as a way to get back at Sarkodie. And if that is the case, then the healing process is not even started in a sense to even go to a point of completion. Because that would be the one thing that I would say that she needs to work on, or she needs to keep away from putting out tweets that make it seem as though she is looking for some sort of punitive action. She wants to tar she wants to damage the image of Sarkodie in public and things like that, because that particular tweet in all the tirades was the one that I felt like, okay, no, she shouldn't have gone down that line. And I think, why am I saying emotional response? We know Sarkodie. We've heard him respond to different things in different variety of in different degrees. He usually is very contained and very reserved, right? He, in this particular response, try me, he went overboard. I'm not the one to judge how much a person should respond when he feels his emotions are tickled, but he went quite overboard. He said a lot of things, even making the declaration of "you are for the streets," which for me again goes back to the whole topic of slut shaming, and things like that, which I don't think is the angle that he should also be taking in just maybe putting out his truth over there. So I think both of them are currently at the point where they have a lot of unresolved things to talk about, and it's making them respond to everything that's happening and playing out in the public in an emotional manner. It's sad that these are really two big public entities, and this particular issue is playing out this way in the eyes of the public. That's the one thing I think Sarkodie should stay away from. One, the slut shaming, you are from this, you belong to the streets and things like that. That's, he can just come and tell his part of it, like, hey, you said you were pregnant. I didn't think it was mine. I wanted to do a test, but you said you wanted to get it aborted. Blah blah blah. He could have ended it there. But the whole thing going on, you belong to the street, don't act like this and that. I feel like, that goes back again into a bit of misogyny in a sense, because when the story is broken down in a way, he didn't really even go to the point where he could have belonged to the streets, where he was supposedly in a relationship, committed relationship, before having this thing with Yvonne Nelson. Then in that sense, he also belongs to the street. And I think that's just a far murky and subjective area that he should not go to. And I think for Yvonne also, bringing in things like you had a partner who will go on to be your wife, and blah, blah, that's just not her reach. And she shouldn't even try to put it into her reach. Stick to telling your stories. The Sarkodie should stick to reacting to maybe clear his name and things like that. But to try to muddy the other person to clear your name, or to try to muddy the other person as a way of seeking revenge, I think for these two big entities, they shouldn't go there. And if they want to go there, I would hope they have like established management and PR teams around them that are actually helping them manage the situation, that they can still tell their story and heal without really going down a murky rabbit hole. That's it, a long submission, but I'm very sure I won't talk again.
Yes, we're back. So you heard everything that Ghanaians had to say about Sarkodie's response. Those who are saying Sarkodie was being childish. Those who are saying Sarkodie stooped lower. Man, I have my reservations about this thing, man. Yvonne Nelson called for the rain. She poured out everything she had in her book. And there is a saying that if you're calling for the rain, you should be ready to deal with the mud. Sarkodie came with the mud. And the two of them are just dirtying themselves in the mud. Yvonne Nelson used prose. Sarkodie used poetry to address his issue. And now we're waiting for the drama. Yes, put this in a movie, guys. We want to watch it. Put it in a movie. Ceci is here to bring us 3 headlines in the world of entertainment. This is Just Corner, guys.
Okay, guys, so this week has been exciting with a lot of stories, hot, back and forth. Yes, so last week we spoke about Camido being nominated at the BET Awards, and unfortunately he didn't win the award. The award was won by Libianca. I was rooting for Ashake. Yes, I was. Please, no, you keep your comments. I know we are supposed to support our own. I actually said we should support our own. Don't be angry, but I was rooting for Ashake, and then Libianca won the award. Congratulations to her. Libianca is the lady who sang "I've been drinking more alcohol for the last 5 days." I don't know if I'm right with the lyrics, so don't laugh. The second story, Charlie, this one is between one book, one rap. So Yvonne Nelson launched her memoir at Pediasi Lodge last week, and Sarkodie responded through a diss song. Try Me, that's the title of the track. You can go check it out on YouTube or anywhere. It didn't go down well with a lot of celebrities. It didn't go down well with Yvonne Nelson herself.
Read some of the reactions for me, some of the tweets and what they're saying.
Okay. When the song dropped around 1 a.m., Yvonne Nelson has to start tweeting. This is what she has to say. Insults won't work, Michael. Guys, Charlie, government name come inside. Oh, hey. Yo, we all know Sarkodie like Sarkodie, but this one there, another level. Respect womanhood. I'm happy the world gets to see how you are playing this and the real you. Young women gets to learn from this. You would get the applause for a rap. Still doesn't change the truth. Then she comes again. In my book, I narrated how you got me pregnant, how you couldn't wait for me to get rid of it, how you drove me to have an abortion. As usual, you want to use rap to rubbish a pain a young woman felt. We both have daughters. Let's see what life throws at them. Wow. Then Yvonne Nelson comes again. Michael, you claim I was desperate to abort because I needed to complete school. In 2010, when I became pregnant, I had completed the university. Anybody can verify this. I wasn't in school and you will know it. If you want to lie, find a logical lie to do. Guys, see, when I started reading Yvonne Nelson's tweets, I realized that she has to go and listen to the song, then she come and reply. Because in the song, Sarkodie says Yvonne Nelson is a street girl and a whole lot. Guys, let me read some reactions from the media personalities that have said a lot of things. So Prince David also, he said, elementary is synonymous to childish. Good morning. What? This is Baka Vomewo. I have heard immature rap songs, but Sarkodie's Try Me as a response to Yvonne Nelson's book is tackiest thing I have heard. Plain refusal to grow up. We all make mistakes. Own yours. And this is from Kojo Sheldon. In conclusion, Yvonne Nelson is for the streets. So my third story, and then let's go this way. This is from our one and only Cardi B and Offset. On Monday, Offset took to Instagram to write about his wife, Cardi B. And this didn't go down well with Cardi B. As usual, you know her. Cardi B has to hit back at his husband. She actually had to do a whole Twitter space to clear her name. That's what Offset is saying is a lie. And she has to call the husband like stupid. Like, who does that? This is what I have for you this week. Keep commenting on our pages, on our podcast, and then use the hashtag ShowbizUni.
So that was Ceci bringing us hot topics, hot headlines in the world of entertainment. Your Mind Day segment is next.
I mean, the worldly people. That's why I said Lucifer. We are with the guy.
Something is wrong with you.
So let's move straight into some of the comments that came after we shared episode 7 on social media. We keep asking you guys to use the hashtag ShowbizUni, so we read whatever advice or comment you have on your Mind Day segment. So the comments that are coming is from episode 7, which a friend was distressed, saying that he went to ask for help loan from someone he calls a friend, 2,000 Ghana cedis. But this guy refused to give him the money on the basis that he was broke. Then the next day, he invites all of his cohorts and friends to a party and blows 6,000 Ghana cedis on them. The same person that said he was broke to lend out 2,000 Ghana cedis was spending 6,000 Ghana cedis a night the following day. So he was pissed off, came to social media, sent his message to Showbiz University for us to read, and these are the comments that are coming from it. So on Twitter, @_Pepra says, always be the boss. On Instagram, Ike Gaming 0412. This is the second comment I'm reading from Ike Gaming on Showbiz University. He commented on episode 6 and now he's commenting on episode 7. Big ups yourself, Ike Gaming. Keep on listening to Showbiz University. We appreciate your comments and tell your friends too to use the hashtag ShowbizUni. Listen to the whole podcast and let's go. So this is your comment. Some of the people we call friends are not supposed to. This friend doesn't want him to grow in life. He is the kind of friend who likes to be the head whenever they are outside. And that's true. Nana Ama Lavish says, this is what I hate the most. Girl, I can support you right now. So now, guys, let's move to episode 8's question. looking at what Sarkodie, Yvonne Nelson, and in Nigeria, what Davido Chioma is doing, what Adesua and Banky W, what they are doing, in America, what Cardi B and Offset are doing, like this whole relationship stress, let me ask you this question. What lesson has your previous relationship taught you that you will never forget? Question for episode 8 on your Mind Day segment. What lesson has your previous relationship taught you that you will never forget? Use the hashtag ShowbizUni and share your comments on it. I'll read it out on episode 9. To my party lovers, to my party people, let's zoom in straight to the weekend playlist. Yeah, 10 banging songs you have to listen to this weekend. I can't start weekend playlist without listing Sarkodie's Try Me. I mean, it has to make the top 10. Anyway, so Sarkodie is in my top 10 banging songs with Try Me. Go listen to the song. Gospel comes in on my top 10 as well. Joe Mettle has a live session of his banging song Kadosh. He featured Nathaniel Bassey from Nigeria. So Joe Mettle makes my top 10 with the Kadosh live session, which features Nathaniel Bassey. Frimpong also makes my top 10 with Chairman, which features Strongman, YP, and Big Dollar. So that's my third song on my top 10 song. Frimpong, Chairman featuring Strongman, YP, and Big Dollar. Now, Twitch Forever comes again and features Kofi Mole on a song they call Millie. Twitch Forever, Millie featuring Kofi Mole. Kweku Flake also has a song out, Rastaman. Go listen to that song. Lyrical Joe is prepping our mind ahead of 5th August 7. That will be the 7th release of his much anticipated rap song 5th August. So he has released a song titled Road to 5th August 7. Has a lot of bars in the song. Now Camido, who has been preaching about PTSD during his interview on BBC, has a song out which features Sarkodie called Odo Dede. It is off the LITA album. You should listen to that. Camido featuring Sarkodie, Odo Dede. OV also has a new song out, Yolo. Go listen to the song Yolo Yole Live Once. OV music. Now in Nigeria, Burna Boy Sitting on Top of the World featuring 21 Savage is also making the waves as banging. Burna Boy Sitting on Top of the World. And Fireboy ends our top 10. Fireboy DML ends our top 10 with Yawa. So let me run you through it real quick. Sarkodie Try Me, Joe Mettle the Kadosh live featuring Nathaniel Bassey, Frimpong Chairman featuring Strongman, YP, and Big Dollar, Twitch Forever, Millie featuring Kofi Mole, Kweku Flake Rastaman, Lyrical Joe Road to 5th August 7, Camido Sarkodie on Ododede, original version OV Yellow, Burna Boy Sitting on Top of the World with 21 Savage, and Fireboy DML with Yawa. All in all, we've come to the end of another episode of Showbiz University. Yeah, my name is King Kweku Mensah. Party people, let's meet next week. But then make sure you follow the hashtag ShowbizUni. Drop your comments, send us a message. We'll read it whenever we are. Let's build a community. Bring up your friends on board. Let us listen to this podcast. You know what we do. You know how we do it. Hey, let me give shout out to my production team. Well, shout out to Andrew, John Andrew Papo Ado. Shout out to Emmanuel Osei. Shout out to Mr. George Salia. Shout out to Sonia. And shout out to myself. My name is King Kweku Mensah. Good vibes and positive energy going out to all of you. Peace out.